Hi Mortgage Heroes, Andy Cruz here in Business Development, and this is your weekly video newsletter. This week, we're gonna dive into some economic information, which I think you're gonna find really interesting and how it paints a picture of what we think is coming up ahead economically and how that relates to housing and mortgage. So buckle up, you're gonna see some graphs, some charts, I'm gonna throw some numbers at you, and I'm gonna explain what all of this means. First things first, at the time of this recording, we're still waiting for the final passage of the 1.9 trillion stimulus package, but that's expected to happen today. This afternoon, in fact, on Wednesday, March 10th. And then, of course, that goes to the president's desk, and the president will have to sign that. And, the time frame here is important because there are some unemployment benefits that expire on the 14th of this month, and it's really important for our politicians to take care of this so that there's no gap in the unemployment benefits for those folks who are still yet not back at work. So, all signs lead to that happening, and I'm gonna talk to you right now about what that might mean for us, but I'm gonna start by showing you right now, people are saving money. People are saving a lot of money. Despite prices going up, we're somehow figuring out as consumers how to save, how to pay down debt, and we've actually slowed down the frequency for which money is changing hands. I'm gonna show you that right now. So as you've been out and about, I'm pretty sure you've noticed that the prices on shelves have gone up a little bit. Everything from the cost of raw goods like your food, supplies, even your toiletries, gasoline, prices are just going up. Now, one of the simple functions of that is we've been handing out free money now, a couple of rounds of it, and we have another round of free money coming out again. I say free very loosely. I understand it's not free. I understand it's adding to our debt, but to the consumer, it's new money that the consumer didn't do anything in order to receive, but again, down the line, it's gonna have to get paid. So right now, I already see that things at the store that I normally buy have increased, some by only 5%, but some like by 10, 12, and even 15%. Now that cost of goods, of course, hurts my spending power because it takes more of my money to buy the same things I already buy every single week and every month. And also the cost of durable goods, the things that we use to build homes, is also going up. You see construction costs rising, material costs rising, even the cost of wood was reaching some extreme highs recently. And that is going to probably, unfortunately, continue because we've made rates so low artificially in the marketplace that the affordability to buy a home is now kind of buffered by the cheap cost of the money to borrow it. Now, as the rate environment changes and rates go up, you're gonna see a flatlining of housing prices. And even this year's projections for housing value appreciation has slowed to a pedestrian 3.3%. So let's talk about how all this comes together with how we spend our money. Today, I'm gonna introduce you to something called the M2 money supply. The M2 money supply is how much money we're saving. And as you can see in this chart, in February of 2020, we started saving a lot. Right as the pandemic started to kick in, we started saving money. In March, we saw the initial lockdowns. In April, we saw continued lockdowns. You started seeing layoffs. You started seeing furloughs. You saw millions and millions of people going into unemployment. And what happened over the course of the subsequent months was that we continued to save all the way through December. And even until January 2021, Americans are saving money. That's what this shows. This graph shows a direct correlation to a couple of things. Number one, those who are working are saving more money. Those who are not working, who are getting unemployment or getting unemployment and stimulus, are also saving that money. And here's where I'm gonna show you that we have not been exchanging money as rapidly as we used to. This next graph is something that's called the velocity of money. Now, the velocity of money is how often money changes hands. Let's say after work today, I go and I spend $10 at the pub. And then the bartender at the pub takes my $10 and they use that money and they go get a taxi on the way home. Then the taxi driver takes that same money and puts gas in his taxi. And the gas station owner takes that $10 and spends it on what? So the money changes hands with a frequency, and that ratio has been declining. So as you see here in quarter one, before the pandemic and the crunch really happened, our velocity of money was 1.380. And then almost immediately, once we hit quarter two, we hit the March shutdowns, and then April and May and June rolled around, we were at 1.103. which is a significant decline percentage-wise when you look at going from 1.38 back down to 1.103. That is a significant drop. And then you see a little bit of a recovery in quarter three. After we get stimulus, of course, in quarter two, people spend a little bit more money. But remember, I also showed you right now a minute ago that we're saving money like crazy in the M2 money supply. So we're saving money and our velocity only increased, and we were just given a bunch of quote unquote free money. And then even in quarter four, where we normally spend a lot of money during the holidays coming into the end of the year, our velocity of money actually went down. It went to 1.134. So our velocity of money went down at the same time that our M2 money supply kept going up. So what does that indicate to me? That means that we were actually spending less money, and instead of spending it, we were saving it. Now, there's another thing that was happening that kind of comes and brings us all together, and it has to do with debt and how we're paying off our consumer debt. So check this last piece out. This is the household debt to GDP ratio. As you see in quarter one, that ratio was 76.450, but then quarter two, bam, almost immediately, people that are losing jobs, people that are uncertain about their future, using their credit cards to pay bills, using their credit cards to make ends meet, buy groceries, put gas in the car, do whatever, that went up to 84.672. That is a huge increase, only to be followed by a whomp all the way back down to 79.360 in quarter three. Right after, guess what? More stimulus money, or the initial round of stimulus money, I should say, back in May. So we got the stimulus money, and what did people do? They saved their money, the velocity of spending it went down, and we paid off our debt. Now, I'm expecting that when the quarter four number comes out, it's also going to reflect more of the same, which is we're paying down our debt. So in short, one of the things that's happening is we're getting stimulus from the government, we're saving it, we're spending less of it in the velocity money, and we're paying down debt in our household income, or not our household income, in our household amount of debt that we're holding. And so all these make me think that we should expect more of this of the same moving into the second quarter of 2021. We have a new stimulus package. There's no indication that Americans are going to stop saving money. There is every indication that our velocity of money is maybe gonna stay the same. There's a chance that it could go up, but again, if you're unemployed, there's a very low chance that you're just gonna go and spend your money crazy and buying stuff you don't need. You're gonna be buying regular cost of goods and service, which brings us all the way back to the beginning of this video when I talked about the price of everything that's going up on the shelves. So we're at a really key inflection point in our economy right now. It's gonna be very telling what this stimulus bill does. As we move forward though, what that means for housing and what that means for mortgage is a couple of things. The first thing is that we are going to have to see mortgage rates stabilize, and unfortunately they're just gonna increase. There's nothing on the employment side that says they should just rapidly increase, but at the same time that the government keeps giving money out to Americans, if you are one of those that qualify and you get that money and then you're saving it, then there's more money in the system that could be used to spend. And they're hoping that you spend it on large, big ticket items, things like buying cars and appliances and even buying a home. So I think that what's gonna happen is we're gonna see a cooling off of housing prices coming in to the spring. I think rates are going to stay where they're at, maybe even tick up just a little bit. And I absolutely expect people to continue paying down their personal debt with their stimulus check, and also at the same time, putting that money into savings for that rainy day. Most of us already have a rainy day fund, and a stimulus check is just more padding in that rainy day fund. And also I understand that for a lot of people, that stimulus check is necessary to go buy food and to get the necessities of life so that we can get to that next job if we're still waiting for that job. So today, I just really wanted to share with you some of the things that I look at here at the office when I'm trying to identify what's actually happening in the economy that will work for our clients, what's actually happening so we can give you the best information, and where's the money going? Where's it coming from? Where's it going? And how's it getting there and why? So this all helps us kind of formulate and craft a really nice picture of what should be likely to come. You know, we're always working on what is possible and what's most probable. And of course, it would be awesome to have a crystal ball. Even though we don't, we do our very best to try to put all these things together and simplify and show you what's happening so you can come up with your own conclusion, but then match that with our number of years of experience that dates all the way back to 2005 doing this. So we really thank you guys for hanging with us and listening to this. We hope that it was educational and that this brings some new insight to you as to what's happening and what that might mean for you and your family. family. As always, if you're in a situation where you need a circumstantial refinance, meaning that you maybe missed the low lows of the rates in 2020, but you have a circumstance that requires you to refinance, whether that you still have a rate in the 3s and the 4s, you need to bring it into the high 2s, that's still possible. If you need to cash out to pay off debt, or you need to do cash out because you have equity in your house still and you want that for the rainy day, cash out to build your accessory dwelling unit, those are all circumstances we can help you with. And we have a new program coming up at the end of this month, which will actually allow you to do cash out up to 90% of your loan to value. Let me be more specific, it's 89.99%, so not quite 90. It is capped at 89.99%. Lastly today, wanted to thank you so much for watching again. Please be sure to subscribe, give us a like, and hit that notification bell to be the first to be notified every time we drop a new video with greater information that can help you make the best of real estate and mortgage in 2021. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.